Welcome everyone. Today we're gonna talk about chapter 1 from the syllabus and 1.2 concept and goals of classification. Note that classification is a scientific method of dividing organisms into smaller and larger groups on basis of their similarities. Now, this was started in 1970s by a botanist named Carl Linnaeus. He believes that he can put every organism into a group, which is a science of taxonomy, and can even give them a name, which is a science of nomenclature. Now, this is the linear systems of classification, which starts from kingdom and ends with genus and species. Note, we do not have to look for each one of them. We will discuss about the kingdom. We will discuss about phylum and class, but currently we'll discuss about genus and species, which is used in order to make a binomial name. Now, what is binomial name? It is an internationally agreed system in which the scientific name of an organism is given by two parts showing the genus and species, definitely to avoid the confusions all over the world. Now, for example, here we have crow. Now, this is the binomial name, which is made up of the genus and the species. Note that the genus is always start with a capital letter and followed by species, which is always in lowercase and typed in italic. Now, moving to the next segment, which is a traditional classification. The traditional classification was based on morphology, which is the study of the form or outward appearance of an organism, or anatomy, which is the study of their internal structure as revealed by dissection or cutting the skin. Now, from the linear system of classification, it might be confusing for you, but note that we'll be basically learning the 5 kingdoms in this year, which is plants, fungi, protocotes, prokaryotes, and also animals. And we will also learning the subdivisions for animals, which is like phylums such as arthropods, nematodes, annelids, mollusks, and vertebrates. We will be looking into each one of them, and I'm sure when we look into each one of them, it won't be harder for you. Next, we have the arthropods, which has further classified or classed into insects. And lastly, we'll learn about vertebrates, which has more subsections or class. We can say fish, reptiles, birds, amphibians, and mammals. Now, mammals is the class where we human belongs to. Anyway, now genus is a group of similar species. And what is species? A group of organisms that can reproduce and produce a fertile offspring. I have seen students struggling with understanding species. So, to make it easier for you, let us understand in a different way or in the opposite way. Let's say we have here a female horse and a male donkey. Now, when they fall in love and they reproduce, their offspring or their child, you can say it's a mole. Well, in such case, mole is a sterile. It can't produce sperm or it can produce egg. So, there, if you bring two moles together, they cannot produce a fertile offspring because they are sterile. So, in this case, we can say the donkey and horse will belong to a different species because their offspring, which is a mole, is not fertile. I hope this was clear for you, and this lesson will be continued in the next video. So keep tuned. If it was helpful for you, then give a like and stay tuned.